So, two things. One, I just realized that it's getting super close. It's 1:30 when the books usually come in from the library. And I'd probably go, like, say, 2 o'clock because I can't get it right away. Um, and then so I could probably just do the reading recommendations and the new books. But what I'm going to do is because of the celebration, even though, to celebrate the new books I got, even though this little crease. This is something new I noticed. This little crease right here. It's not bad enough that there's the things on the spine, like right here. No, it's going to be showing in the book, too. But, because I can't, I want to avoid copyright, so I'm not going to show you shit. I saw a word. Oh, fuck. I saw a word. I'm so weird about it. I don't know why. Actually, no, not all of them are like that. Because then you get like one like this. But then, here, I'll just cover that to avoid copyright. Then you get that. And it's not, actually, at this point, I can't even tell. Oh, wait, it's on this side, too. It's on this side, too. It's on this side. It's on this side, not this side. But, for most of them, they're like this. So it really just doesn't show, with the words or with the pictures or anything like that. So I'm not going to return it, and also because it's not, me that's going to be returning them. So I don't know, so you just saw me, like, kind of freak out that I saw a word. I don't know why I get so annoyed about that. Like, I saw a word of the book. Why does that matter? I don't know why. I'm OCD I'm OCD over a lot of stuff, and I don't actually have OCD. I'm just saying I'm OCD. Like how you say, like, oh, I'm so retarded at this point. You're not actually retarded. I mean, in that case, it's like I'm OCD about like the condition of the book that I just got in, and just after. Like I like to keep my books in perfect condition. All right, so reading recommendations. Killer Be Killed Volume 3. Now, it's a good thing that I'm not going to be uploading the video until after I come home from the library, so it'll be a back-to-back upload. Because I'm going to solicit Volume 4 right the fuck away after I'm done recording this video. Because this is so damn good. Like, I almost wish, this is one of those books that I almost wish I just bought myself. Because I could just read it, I could binge read it. It's that damn good. It's binge-worthy. It is my highest recommendation for a book. Again, it's not the best book I've read, obviously, but it's among the best. I'd probably put this at, like, top 20. It's that damn good. Definitely read this if you haven't read it, and Volume 3 is just as good, if not better than the first two. It is so damn good. I'm so glad I gave it a second chance. Even the first time, I was like, yeah, that was good, but it wasn't great. Second time I gave it a second chance, I was like, holy shit, that was good. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. Was wrong with me before. Jupiter, and also this is Image, and also the other Image book that I'd read that like with Wicked Into the Vine, with Volume 2 that I didn't like was True, and that was just because it was a slower volume. I might just get Volume 3 next, to solicit it. Now Jupiter's Circle Volume 2, also by Image. The one big downside in this book is that the characters aren't all that interchangeable or memorable. I can't tell you anything specific about any of these characters. Like this guy, I can't tell you his name. I know he's in the book. I know he does certain things. I know the actions of certain characters, like this guy especially. But, again, for the gay guys, I can't tell you who the gay guy was in this story. There's this guy with the gay costume that's like yellow and looks kind of gay. I don't think it's him. In fact, I know it's not him because he has a wife. I know that. He's the one. That's right, the one with the yellow costume. Looks kind of gay. Like gay lame. He does have the younger wife. She's like 19, and it was like a whole thing too in the first. That was the whole thing that was brought up in the first volume. But yeah, other than that, it's very entertaining. It's very good. It keeps you on your toes. There's a lot of shit that happens. And it's fun. It's not like Mark Millar. Everything is terrible. Everything is dark. It's not that. Anyone who says Mark Millar is nihilistic and shit, read this book. You'll realize, oh shit, he's not that bad. He's not that nihilistic. And Kick-Ass, even Kick-Ass isn't that bad. Like, it has a lot of humor. Like, it's a lot of dark humor. I don't understand why people don't like Mark Millar. I'm sorry, but I like it. I like his writing. My voice cracked. Now this is one also by Image Comics I didn't really like, and it's volume 1, and also it's $16.99. And yes, it is volume 1. I made sure of that. It's actually book 1, so maybe volume 1 would have been $9.99. But this one was so. And then, well, actually, one thing I did notice, this is 5 issues, and so is this. Notice the difference between it? Besides the fact that this is in bad condition, this one's a lot bigger. And that's because each issue is like 30 pages. And you feel the 30 plus page. Actually, the first one's like 35. But you feel the 30 plus page length. They need to cut down to like the normal 22, 23 pages. Because it just goes on and on and on. And like, I don't understand why I need to lengthen it. Like, if they cut it down, it would have been more interesting, because it would have cut down the fluff, the filler that you don't need. Like, again, I can't tell you a whole lot about the characters, and 2 of them look kind of similar to me, and I was like, oh, it's that character, that's who it's supposed to be. And then towards the end, I was like, oh yeah, duh, she has short hair, that's the main person is. Because I swear to God, she has longer hair, in like the first issue or whatever, or like when it's a flashback. That's another thing. It's kind of hard to understand. I mean, it's not hard to tell, but like you can tell. But like, I don't know. It's like, it was one thing I wasn't paying attention to was the hair, and I saw it. I was like, oh yeah. The artwork isn't too great. The artwork is more like it's more like 100 bullets, where it's like more cartoony than you'd expect an adult graphic novel to be. Yeah, this one it was okay. I would say if you like the movie, go check this out. But I won't be watching the movie. I've heard the movie wasn't that great, and I guess the comic isn't that great either. And it's by Greg Rucka, who's a damn good, along with Ed Brubaker, is among one of the best writers. Right now, Greg Rucka, I heard, isn't too great, because he did a Lois Lane book that I still do want to read. That people have said isn't too great, but again, I still kind of want to read it. I'll wait for it to appear at my library. I'll wait for it to come to my library, or for it to be like $7.99. On sale wherever, whether that be New Bright Comics or digital, which is where I should have gotten that Injection issues volumes again. Just volume 1. I might just do that. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, volume 1, Into Twilight. This is Chip Zdarsky's run, and he's currently writing an amazing Daredevil run. From what I've heard, I've not read it. I said from what I've heard. That's what I meant to say before. I'm just so far behind on Daredevil, so I need to get caught up, and then I'll get into that Chip Zdarsky run. And then by then, it'll probably be like the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil Omnibus will probably be out. So I'll just get it done and get everything, one done omnibus. But this one is really good. I really enjoyed this one. Had a bit of a slow start. The Free Comic Book Day was the worst issue, and it was because it wasn't written by him. I think it was actually written by Nick Spencer. Even for ones I've read, I don't like seeing the words up. I'm so weird about it, and I don't know why. Huh. Must be maybe Chip Zdarsky? It's not Chip Zdarsky, though. I didn't think it was. Anyways, I did like it. There's a, this is, and for those of you who are wondering that knew anything about it, yes, this is the start, well, not the start, but this is where Teresa Parker makes her, not her first appearance, it was an OG original graphic novel was her first appearance, but this is where like their adventures continue, I guess. And I didn't read that original graphic novel. They caught you up to speed, which I like that they did that. So I wasn't too terribly confused. I knew about Teresa Parker, and again they catch you up to speed through Johnny Storm, who's just found out about Teresa Parker. And I do like that they say that no, they're not. Teresa Parker is not Peter Parker's long-lost sister or anything like that. That was just a farce by Kingpin. I like that they did that. I like that they weren't like, oh no, it's our long-lost sister. It wasn't too convoluted. It was just like, no, it was just a random person that Kingpin brainwashed her into thinking that she was. And then she found out, oh no, she wasn't. And it was all a lie. And then they do joke about it. I like that. And it's like they kind of refer to each other as like not my sister or whatever like that. I like that, because I hate when they do that trope of, oh, long-lost sister, long-lost brother. It's like the stupidest thing you could ever do. Unless it's like, because this has been, Spider-Man, obviously, even around this time, had been around for, like, a year, like, 40-plus years, and even at this point, this was 2017, so, yeah, 2017 series, so it wasn't too long ago. But when they do that, when the character's been around when the character's been around for 40 plus years, and you do the long lost brother sister thing, that's even worse. Even to do it in any book, even if it's just the first issue, is kind of stupid. At least spoilers for Killer Be Killed. I mean, you already know where I'm going with that. At least that made sense in Killer Be Killed. Again, mild spoilers for that. Fantastic Four, Volume 2, Doom. First few issues were very reminiscent of the first volume, which I did not like. And yeah, I know. And then for the longest time, I was like, oh, why did I get Volume 2? But then it got going, and I solicited Volume 3, and I'm happy that I did. Well, until I get it. Yeah, it is. No. I hope that Volume 3 is a lot better. Same writer, too, so it'll be going along the same story and everything like that. Also by Warren Ellis, who brought us Injector. The the fun one, like a bad condition. Again, it's not that bad a condition. It's not that bad. I'm not gonna ask for replacement. Again, because it's not me that's doing the replacement. I has to bring it to the UPS store. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass for my mom to do, even though it's like a dirt, like it's like right next to her. It's actually at her work. She works at Crown Uniform, and I shouldn't have got. She's gonna read the information. She talks me now, but she works at that kind of place, so she has. I should have said the mill yard. So she has like that access to that, but still a pain in the ass for her to do. Anyways, this one got really good after the first few issues. And the first few issues were just like super slow. A lot of talking, not a whole lot of action. It wasn't even interesting conversations either. Superman Last Son of Krypton. Overall, a very good book, but I like the second story a lot better than the Last Son. This collects Last Son of Krypton and the Brainiac storyline. And the Brainiac storyline was so much better. It was so good. That one was good, Jeff Johns Superman. And I'm glad I have the other Superman book by him, Secret Origin. But I might be complaining about how long the issues are, because the first issue is like almost 50 pages. But yeah, this one I did enjoy. The first one was just kind of slow. No, not slow. It was just like a lot of action, and like it's complete opposite of Fantastic Four. It's actually kind of funny, but it was just like too much like convoluted kind of stuff, and like convoluted confusing, which is like a bunch of information thrown at you, and it's like, okay, either have the action or have the information. It was just, I don't know. I still liked it. And it's also written by Richard Donner, who brought us the first two Superman films from way back in the day. The original first two Supermans, I should have said. So that was a nice treat, but it was good. I liked it. I will recommend it, especially because Richard Donner wrote it. But it wasn't like a masterpiece or anything like that. I would give it like a 4 out of 5 still, or an 8 out of 10. Again, it's weird to do this. 4 out of 5, I'd give to a lot of these. But it's not the same 4 out of 5. I would have 4.5 out of 5. But that's even more confusing, kind of, sort of. I feel like I like to do a well-rounded number for the most part. But yeah, I could give that one 8 out of 10. Klaus. If Conan, the Conan books, the 3 epic collections I had, I still have not ranked, so I'm weird like that. And I still want more. I almost considered getting the last 3, even though I didn't have the money for it, like an idiot. I'm glad I didn't do that, though. Oh, I just saw something, get a notification. But this, if Conan is anything like this, like, obviously it's not going to be the same, like, characters, obviously, I mean, like, the same feel, then I'm in for a treat for Conan. This was so damn good. Just as good as the first issue that I read way back when, not way back when, but kind of way back when, that I reviewed, is just as good as that first issue. I highly recommend it, and this is Grant Morrison at his damn best. Like, and this is current Grant Morrison, too, who also wrote that stupid fucking Green Lantern story I hated, but I still want to keep reading. It was better the second time. It was just like a lot of information that was quite confusing. This isn't too confusing. This is Grant Morrison, like, off drugs. Once he's gotten sober and he's back to normal. This is Grant Morrison back to normal, and not too confusing. There's a couple things that are like kind of out there, but for the most part, this is straightforward, and this is really good for it, and it benefits for it. And I'm so glad I got Invisibles because of that. That's Grant Morrison at his best too, and of course Doom Patrol, especially Doom Patrol, because Doom Patrol I know I'll like. Naomi, also a writer who has fallen off the map, Brian Michael Bendis, and can we get this Brian Michael Bendis? This is current Brian Michael Bendis too. And he's written Superman. This is also a Superman book, and his current Superman run is awful. I've heard, like, absolutely awful, like 1 out of 10. Not even like I give it a 0 if I could, like that bad. And he writes this, and this is actually good. Again, I give it like a 7 out of 10. It's a solid book, but it's not like, oh my god, you gotta read this. But if you're like, I hate Brian Michael Bendis, he's ruined everything, and he's really fallen off the map, and I almost like his older stories now because it's so bad. Read this, you'll probably enjoy it. It was definitely. It's weird too because like you think to yourself, like, how can someone fall off the map so heavily? Lucifer. This was actually really good when they followed the characters I actually cared about. There's these, I think her name was Elaine. It's Elaine, Mona, and later this other character, which I won't spoil. I like that storyline. That storyline was really interesting, and sometimes I'll count how many pages I have left. I forgot to do that. Forgot, quote unquote, do that. I didn't feel a need to do that, and it was like, oh wow, it's already over. Nice. Not nice because I want to keep reading it. And it was like the last 2 issues. Like I basically read back to back, like almost in one sitting. I would have if I hadn't had to watch a video. There was a video someone uploaded about like new Marvel books coming out. I was like, oh yeah, I want to see that. And that was a pretty long video because I didn't wait until it was off live. But anyways, this was good. But when it doesn't follow those characters, it's a little less interesting. And I'll be waiting a little bit to get book 2 because it probably won't be following the same characters. Very mild spoilers. It's a miniseries for those characters, but they do appear before the miniseries, so that's why I have hope that the characters will appear. Because mild spoilers, none of them die. Well, okay, mild spoilers. One of them does die, but not really. Again, you'll see when you read the book. I do recommend all of these. I recommend except for one that's coming up. Except for Old Guard, and one that's coming up. But the one that's coming up is an exception. This one I highly recommend. This one, okay, Jessica Jones Pulse. Sorry, it's I'll tell you when it's. I'll tell you before when it's the one I won't recommend. But Jessica Jones Pulse, and this is coming off the heels of Jessica Jones Alias, which is max R-rated Marvel. This is PG-13 Marvel. So if you don't like those, if you didn't like Die Hard 4 or The Expendables 3 or any of these R-rated books, R-rated movies that became PG-13s, if you hate them just because it's PG-13, you will hate this book. You will hate it. If you're like, I don't care how good the movie ends up being. If it's PG-13, the one before it was R, I'm not seeing it. Then you will hate this book. But if you can give it a chance, and if you know that Marvel, for the most part, currently is T+, parental advisory at worst, and even then, their shits and fucks are still censored, even in parental advisory, which makes no sense, because it's high amounts of violence, too. And you won't like this. But if you can get a chance, I'm sorry, I'm still on the, if you don't like yada yada yada. But because I'm used to Marvel not going back to their max roots, and even then it was just for a short amount of time when they were just off the Comics Code Authority. Look up the whole Comics Code Authority thing, because it's way too much to get into right now. The videos are already long enough. But I can get over the fact that it's watered down, and I liked it. First few issues, like with first few issues of Alias, were really, really slow. But once it starts going, and it does not stop. It's really damn good, and I've actually liked the New Avengers annual that was included in here. And it's Brian Michael Bendis' New Avengers. And I was right around the time it was actually the same series as the one I was currently reading. So I'll definitely pick up Volume 2 at my local library. Maybe even today. I don't know. But yeah, this one I do recommend. But again, if you don't like the fact that it's gonna be watered down, hell, you only read Alias anyways, because none of them afterwards were one of them does have an uncensored use of shit, and I was always it's always stood out to me because I'm surprised they were allowed to do that. I think it's even available digitally. I'm like, wow, how did they manage to get away with that? But knowing Marvel, they probably censored it digitally. That's why I don't want to get those Conans on a Kindle, because I'm afraid they'll do that. Same thing. But yeah, this one I do recommend. Sort of highly recommend, but like it's borderline. Like I definitely pick this one up, especially at your local library if they have it, or just pick it up, or just get it on digitals. I think it's out of print. This one was out of print, definitely. And at first I was like, man, I really wish I could buy this. Like, I just give them $45 and keep this one. My voice cracks, kind of, sort of. But after a while, I was like, the Birth of Venom trade includes the issues of Amazing Spider-Man that are in here. Why not just keep that one and just not keep? You know what I mean? When I just have read that instead, because there's 3 series included in here: Amazing Spider-Man, Marvel Team Up, and Peter Parker. And the Amazing Spider-Man issues are included in the Birth of Venom trade. Just get the Birth of Venom trade. This isn't worth it. It was kind of The Peter Parkers were slow, and the Marvel team-ups were absolutely atrocious. I am so glad that I didn't get that Black Widow team-up book I was going to get way back when. Because I don't like Marvel team-up. Marvel team-up is just kind of boring to me. It's character... it's just the same shit. Like, we meet this character, we meet this character. There's a villain, we meet the villain maybe, not even, I don't know. One of the Marvel team-ups is really good, though. Issue 145... Spider-Man and Iron Man issue, that was really good. That was the only good one I liked. That was the only one I liked. But, yeah, so it's the same structure. Character meets character. We meet the 2 characters that we're going to be meeting, so like Spider-Man and Iron Man we meet, and then you meet the villain, maybe. Sometimes you don't really, kind of, sort of. Sometimes it's like minimal. And then they fight the villain. The end. It's like, at least with some of the Amazing Spider-Man issues, because this is around the time of the Black Suit Spider-Man, there was more of us. There's more than just... I keep getting, I hate this. I keep getting oh, it's 141. I keep getting, fucking notifications and shit. So, yeah, that one... Just get the Birth of Venom trade, because I have read the Amazing Spider-Man ones prior. I just got it for the Marvel team-ups, basically, because I read almost all of the Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Mans, too. But... And, those weren't too great. But yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man stories were awesome. Those were damn good. And finally, the one that I also don't recommend, Death and Return of Superman. Now, it was good for the longest time. The Death of Superman, I do highly recommend. So, Death of Superman, get the trait that I had way back when. It was one of those ones I went back to because I didn't like it the first time. Loved it the second time. I actually like Louise Simonson as a writer now because she's actually done some good ones. In fact, another one that she did a Marvel team-up issue, was an annual. And had it not been as long as it was, I really enjoyed it a lot more. But as it was, I did enjoy it. I do recommend that you do seek out that one if you can. I don't know. But once it got to the reign of the Superman, I was like, I'm out. And it was for a long time I was reading it and I was like, I'll keep going. And nope, I'm done. And Roger Stern's Superman run, the Superman issues that were included in here were atrocious. They were boring. They were slow somehow, even though there was stuff going on. Too much dialogue. And I almost, legitimately, twice, I was like, you know what? I'm taking off the, because I already have my birthday list on Amazon. The stuff I want for my parents and the more expensive stuff. It's $500 for 6 books because they're all omnibuses. Spoilers. I'm not gonna say what it is because some of them I don't remember. But one of them was his omnibus, Roger Stern Spider-Man omnibus, the reprint, obviously. And twice I was like, let me take it off. That's how bad his Superman run was. But yeah, for the longest time, and it was nice too because it was right around the time that I got that Man of Steel one from the John Byrne Man of Steel one from Amazon. I was like, yeah, I like this era of Superman, and it's this '90s Superman. I was like, oh, that's why people don't like. And then later on, I was like, oh, that's why people don't like '90s comics. So yeah, I don't recommend you seek that. I don't recommend you get that. Just get the Death of Superman and some of the Funeral for a Friend ones were good. So get those. And again, some of Rena's Superman was good, but I couldn't tell you which ones were good. Maybe watch the Comic Pop review, although I think they were more positive than I was, so maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't think they were. I want to say they weren't. They weren't from one of the ones that I hated. They also absolutely hated too, and it was Roger Stern too. So I'm not alone. And also, I didn't like his Avengers run, so I'm skeptical even now if I should get his Spider-Man run. That's it.